Welcome to math lesson number 25, Subtraction Stories. If you're following along in our Saxon math book, I am on page 106. So let me scroll down to the new concept about halfway down on page 106. Now, we have practiced in earlier lessons some and some more story problems. Let me highlight that. Some and some more story or word problems. And these all have an addition pattern to them. If you have some and then you get some more, that's addition. But in this lesson, we're going to be practicing another type of story problem or word problem that will have a subtraction pattern. Let me change that color. I like to color code things. A subtraction pattern. And this is not a sum and some more pattern. This is a some went away story. If you were in our school building in earlier years, in like second grade and third grade, you called this a some went away story. So here is an example of that. Let me scroll down so you can see all the pattern. John had 7 marbles. That's how many he had. He had some marbles, and we know he had 7 marbles. But then he lost 3 marbles. Okay, that's 2 pieces of important information there. First of all, he lost them. Lost means subtraction. And how many did he lose? He lost 3. That's the sum that went away because he lost them. So we would put 3 into the pattern. And then he has 4 marbles left. So what is left? He has 4 marbles left. So some, then some went away, and what is left. And the subtraction is often indicated by the word lost. Or maybe if he spent money, you give that money away. Now you can write it horizontally as they've done here. Some went away, and what is left. Okay, let's go to the top of the next page and look at our first example. Here we have Jimmy, and Jimmy had some marbles. Okay, so let me underline that. He had some marbles. Let me change over to my pen here. I like that better. A little more control. So down here in our pattern, we have some. Now the word some indicates that we don't know the exact number. So we're going to write a variable. And why not pick M for marbles? And then he lost 15. There's that word lost again. That stands for subtraction. He lost 15 marbles, so it's M minus 15. And now he has 22 marbles left. Okay, so that means that's the number he has left. That goes at the bottom. So this is actually, if you remember from the previous lesson, a missing number in subtraction problem. So remember, if it's subtraction and the variable's on top, then you have to add up. So we would have to add 15 plus 22, or if you remember your commutative property, we could write 22 plus 15. We could write either one of those because in the commutative property, it doesn't matter the order of add-ins. You still get the same answer, the same sum. So 5 plus 2 is 7, and 1 plus 2 is 3. So the answer to this problem is M equals 37 marbles. Gotta put my label there. There we go. Okay, so yesterday's lesson about finding missing numbers is going to prove very useful in today's lesson, because instead of just giving you a pure equation, they give it to you in the form of a word problem, like you see there. Okay, so let's practice a couple more. Let me scroll down here to the second example. Let me extend the page so we have some working room. All right, now this time we're going to have to use real reading, no fake reading for us. Let me change pen color. Celia had 42 marbles. Okay, so I'm just gonna stop after every period and pause and think about that. Well, she had 42 marbles, so I'm gonna put 42 on my paper. That's what you would do. Then I'm gonna read the next sentence. She lost some marbles. Period. Stop, pause and think. Do real reading. Lost. That means subtraction. So I'm gonna put my subtraction symbol and some marbles. That means she lost some, but we don't know how many. That's the unknown number. So I'm going to put in letter M for my variable. Then I'm going to draw a line to separate the top from the bottom of my problem. Let's go back to real reading. She has 29 marbles left. Okay, so left goes down here, 29. And then finally the question, how many marbles did Celia lose? Right here. How many did she lose? Well, let's go back to what we learned yesterday. First look, oh, it's a subtraction problem. They're all going to be subtraction problems today in today's examples. But this time, where's my variable? It's not on top, it's sandwiched in the middle. So I can do a subtract down problem. So I can just go over here because 42 is larger than 29. I can rewrite it 42 minus 29. And check in the ones column. Oops, 2 is smaller than 9. I better regroup. Cross out the 4. That becomes a 3. 10 plus 2 is now 12. Now I can continue my subtraction. 12 minus 9 is 3. And 3 minus 2, that's right, it's 1. So the answer to how many marbles did Celia lose is M equals 13 marbles. If you just take it one sentence at a time, every time you see those ending punctuation, whether it's a period or a question mark, ding dong, then just pause and think. Do some real reading. You can do this. Top of the next page. Here I am at page 108. We're going to scroll down because we've already solved that problem. Let's look at the third example. Here we have a girl named Fatima. And she has, it's kind of a funny name, isn't it? She has 65 marbles, okay? So you know you're going to write your equation, 65. That's the sum that she had, but then she lost 13. Remember, loss tells you it's going to be subtraction, and it tells us that she lost 13. It tells us that specifically. And this type of problem should look very familiar to you because that's probably the first type of subtraction problem you learned, where they give you the two numbers and you simply subtract. You find the difference. And then how many marbles does Fatima have left? Well, it's just simple subtraction. 5 minus 3 is 2, and 6 minus 1 is 5. So the answer is 52 marbles. Remember to label. No naked numbers in our classroom. Okay. Now let's scroll down to the bottom of page 108, and here we have our practice problems. For each problem, write a subtraction pattern, then answer the question. So here we have Marco. There's 3 practice problems. Let's start with letter A. Marco had 42 marbles. Okay, there's a period. Pause and think. We're going to write 42. Now let's read the next sentence. Then he lost some. Remember, lost means subtraction. So go write your subtraction. And some means that's the variable. We don't know how many. It's the unknown number. So we're going to put a letter. You can pick any letter, really. It doesn't matter. And now we can read the next sentence. Now he has 26 marbles. So we're going to put 26 here. Okay. And if you remember, if the variable is in the middle, you're going to subtract down. Okay. Now I'm not going to go through the rest of these, but I would encourage you to remember to pause after every end punctuation when you see these types of subtraction stories, and do some real reading and write your equation out one sentence at a time. Remember, if the problem is a subtraction problem, If the variables in the middle, subtract down. If the variables on top, add up. Okay? Good luck. I'm sure you'll be successful and have these problems mastered in no time.